Hey Scarlett, my name's Daphne. Thank you so much for sending in your speaking. It's lovely to hear you. Really, really interesting talk this. I really enjoyed listening to you. Sounding great. What we'll do is listen together and I can just make some comments as we go along. What I think is really important is that you set the context for this. So you start talking about your friends in Australia and my goodness me, that must have been very hard for you. But explain why Germany is somewhere where you want to go. So set this in a context rather than just starting. So Germany is a country I want to visit for a rather strange reason. And then you can kind of get started. So the context of when we're speaking is really important. Let's start at the beginning. Here we go.
Hi, this is Scarlett and this is my speaking answer. In my previous backpacking experience in South Australia, I met two German friends who shared the most difficult time together in a remote town during...
Okay, so that's what I mean about putting it in the context. So I've been backpacking many times and my last experience was truly unique. Something like that, just then the examiner is ready for what you're going to say.
When the pandemic hit hard, and almost everything was shut down in South Australia. At that time, we had nothing else but each other.
Mm-hmm.
As we spent so much time together for nearly 3 months, we became close friends. We got to know...
Right, let me hear the verbs. So what you're saying is beautiful. You're speaking very fluently. Your pronunciation is fabulous. But I need to hear those verbs. So we became very close friends. Make sure I can hear that was the past tense. So during that time, in the past, we became close friends. Make sure I can really hear that.
For me, that I planned to study in Germany and then ever learning German. They invited me to visit their hometown Frankfurt one day before they flew back to Germany.
Good.
I happily accepted that kind offer. Apparently, the plan is postponed due to the pandemic.
Okay, now I happily accepted that kind plan. I love that. Your timing is beautiful, really good. And then you said something about something that I couldn't quite hear.
That I would definitely visit Germany when everything goes back to normal.
Okay, maybe it was postponed. Okay, so I was unable to travel immediately, but made a plan that I would. You can get into a quite nice structure with would. Made a plan or promised myself that I would go back as soon as possible.
Hopefully in the near future. I have a thorough plan in my mind for the trip.
So can't quite hear that. Firm plan for the trip, maybe?
First of all, I will see my friends in Frankfurt. There are several famous tourist attractions that I'm fairly keen on visiting. Sounds a little bit cliche, but I do enjoy sightseeing and wandering in cathedrals, museums, and those old architectures with rich histories inside.
Okay, really nice. You've got some difficult vocabulary in there. Slow down. You've got a lot of things that you're saying and it's very beautiful, but just slow it down a little bit. Then you can really get that pronunciation. So wandering through museums and cathedrals, visiting the cultural attractions, experiencing the life that German people enjoy. It's great to have this list of things. I love that you're using the ing. I love your great vocab. Just slow it down a bit. Make sure that the examiner can hear really clearly everything you're saying.
Then I'll ask my friends to show me around those places where they have wonderful memories in.
Good.
Introduce some good spots to get lost, especially some off the beaten track locations.
Well done. Good use of sort of idioms there. Really, really nice. Well done.
I would definitely ask them to recommend an authentic restaurant for us to eating out together.
Okay, for us to eat out, okay? Not eating, for us to eat out in together, yeah?
Where we can enjoy the German gourmet while catching up on each other's life.
Okay, I would say German cuisine, not gourmet. So German cuisine while catching up. Yeah, brilliant.
After that, I will probably visit some other major cities that I've always wanted to see. For example, Berlin, Hamburg, and Leipzig.
That is absolutely fantastic. I'm really, really impressed with that. You've done a very, very good job there. So if I go through the criteria that the examiner would be marking you on, so pronunciation, absolutely no problem. The only thing I would say is slow down so that we can really hear all those lovely words you're using, okay? Fluency and accuracy, absolutely. You're keeping control really, really well, but I would think about the content, just at the beginning there, the context. So set the context for me. After that, that's fine. I know where you're going. You're covering the other little sections on that prompt very nicely. So set the context. In terms of the grammar, lots of variety on your grammar. Well done. Just make sure I can hear the tenses, because if there's any doubt, then the examiner will think, do you really know what you're doing, or are you just kind of going over it quickly? So make sure I can hear those tenses and you're confident on those tenses. Vocabulary, excellent. Just again, give yourself time to pronounce those words very clearly. But well done, Scarlett. That's a really, really interesting speaking, and you've done well.